you good men and true?
Yea, or else they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desireless man here to be constable?
T. Oakcake, sir, or George Sequel, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Sequel. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of good fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have... I knew that would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You have been chosen here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrant men and bid them stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why then, let him go. And presently call the rest of the watch together and thank God you're rid of a knave.
If he will not stand, when bidden, he is none of the prince's.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. For the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
Then talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend.
Oh.
Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone till they're sober.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You've always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
The nurse be asleep and will not hear us.
Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baas will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present to the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by your lady, that I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it. With any man that knows the statutes, he may stay. Marry, not without the prince be willing. For indeed the watch ought to offend no man. It is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By your lady, I think it be so.
Ha 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 ha. Well, masters, good night. If there be any matter of weight chances, call up, keep your fellows' counsels and your own. Good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray that you watch about Senor Leonardo's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Please, sir, not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, I am at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
Some treason masters yet stand firm.
Therefore, know, I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldest rather ask if any villainy be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush, I may as well say the fool's the fool. Seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? Okay.
I know that deformed. He has been a thief this 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns about between the hot bloods of 14 and 5 and 30, sometimes fashioning them like the pharaoh soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like the God Bells priests in the old church window, sometimes like the shaven Hercules, where his codpiece seems as massy as his club.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither, but know that tonight I have wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leads me out her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And that they, Margaret, was hero?
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret. Partly, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Lord would meet her as he was appointed the next morning at the temple. Shame her before the whole congregation with what he saw overnight, and send her home again without a husband. Go.
We charge her in the prince's name. Stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Go.
Masters, masters.
You'll be made. Bring the deformed forth. I warrant you.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up of these men's bills.
A commodity in question. I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.